Greetings, this is Daniel from PlaceMaker, and I'm going to talk about our new release in 2.1. We've now have the ability to import almost all the 3D buildings for the United States, over 124 million buildings. We have access to Microsoft's building footprint data, which is global for the entire United States. You can see it. Those are all building footprint dots. And able to import and formulate that information into 3D building massings in SketchUp. How it works is very simple and straightforward. Here I have Myrtle Beach, and I'll explain the feature very quickly here. We have imported in the high resolution aerials from PlaceMaker. And for this area, I'm going to use Buildings Global. And this imports OSM buildings, start here for all countries and locations. And it's going to quickly bring in and import in some buildings that we can see right there. So we have some buildings using the Buildings Global option. But it's still missing information. So now we have Buildings USA. And this is a beta feature, but it imports in all the remainder of the buildings in this location. If you're in the United States of America, we do plan on adding additional locations in the future for other countries. And of course, the Building Global option does work globally all over the world. So this isn't just PlaceMaker works everywhere, not just the United States, but we've been able to bring in and have available more data. And you can see right there, it brought in the entire location for that area, and that's what the Buildings USA option allows. And we use that to build the entirety of this area that we've imported in for Myrtle Beach, and normally building footprints that we wouldn't have imported in before version 2.1, we now can offer 3D buildings for the entire United States. This is exciting in terms of what we wanted to be able to do with PlaceMaker and bringing in more data and for people to use it. Just keep in mind with version 2.1, this is in beta. We know there are things that have to be worked out and that might be glitchy in terms of working with the Buildings USA data option. I'm going to quickly show you another example and additional options that we have with the building imports now with PlaceMaker in version 2.1. This is Spanish Springs Town Center in the Villages in Florida, one of the fastest growing communities in the United States. And we used the Buildings USA to build most of this location. There was some good OpenStreetMap data, especially down the commercial corridor, which is great to use. But I'm going to quickly come down to this location. I have an imported high-resolution aerial that came in from the PlaceMaker imagery option already here. You can see the difference in quality right there. And I'm going to select on this area, and I'm going to import in these buildings. Now, it's important to know, to the right of here is this arrow, and I'm going to open that up, and there's additional options in here in terms of the data that is coming in. First and foremost, there's something called auto roofs, which will auto-generate roofing on some of the imported data. Just really good to know, as that information is tagged with the information and the data we're using. And then, unfortunately, there's not height data with the Microsoft building data import. But for most locations where we're filling in the 3D data, the average building height is 1 to 2 stories. So you can set the default building height to, for example, 22 feet and the default level height to 11. Or you can also randomize heights between 11 and 22 feet as you bring this data in, just to give it some variation. So I'm going to click on this and click on Buildings Beta, and it's going to start. And the other thing that we've added at the bottom, and be patient with it, again, this is in beta, is a progress bar for all these different imports, whether it's imagery, roads, paths, whatever it is, so you can keep track, or hopefully SketchUp will give you a relative time in terms of how long the building import will last. And you could see some buildings are already coming in, but you have to just be patient and wait for the import to complete. And the import process here is finished, and we have the entire area here. So just to emphasize that, what the Buildings USA beta brings in terms of importing data for the entire United States. We hope you enjoy PlaceMaker version 2.1. Again, it is in beta, so be patient with some of the limitations you might encounter. But there's all the building data you want to bring in. These are various locations around the United States, just showing them San Antonio, all of them using PlaceMaker's building imports. This is Littleton, Colorado, showing the building footprints overlaid in there, and then the aerial underneath, and then having the aerial turn on. But we have universal building coverage with version 2.1. We also have, check out the what's new with 2.1. There's some other features that we've added that are worth exploring. Thanks very much, and enjoy PlaceMaker.